The psalmist says, I will run in the way of your commandments when you enlarge my heart. That's the key to the entire verse. He's already expressed a desire to run in the way of God's commands, but now he tells us something revealing about himself. He cannot do it until God enlarges his heart. It's a little confession of weakness. He doesn't say, I'll run because I've disciplined myself. He doesn't say, I'll run because I've finally mastered obedience. He doesn't say, I'll run because I've figured out the secret to spiritual success. But he says, in effect, I'll run when you act first. This tells us something about our condition. The real barrier, listen, the real barrier between us and joyful obedience is not just external circumstances. It's also not primarily a lack of knowledge. It's also not simply a lack of discipline. The real issue is the heart. The Bible, it consistently speaks about the heart as the center of our inner life. It's the seat of all of the things that we love and desire, our motivations. It's where our deepest loyalties lie. And the psalmist recognizes what every honest believer eventually discovers. A heart left to itself is too small for the life God calls us to live. Think about this language here. Enlarge my heart. The image suggests that the heart is cramped and restricted and narrow. A heart that doesn't yet have the capacity to love what it ought to love. And listen, the psalmist, he knows the right path. He's already chosen the way of life. He's already put God's judgments, God's word before his eyes. He clings to his testimonies, but he knows, oh my, there's something lacking. The heart itself has to be expanded. The problem is not just that I don't do the right stuff. The problem is often that I don't love what is right the way that we should. That's the tension the psalmist is naming. It's possible to recognize the path of obedience and yet feel strangely reluctant to walk it. It's possible to admire righteousness, but to be pulled to lesser things. How it's possible to know God's commands are good and yet feel resistance rising within. That's the mystery and the tragedy of a fallen human heart. And this psalmist's prayer just exposes that reality with such honesty. He's not pretending that obedience comes naturally. He isn't even pretending that his desires are perfectly aligned with God's will. Instead, he says, Lord, if I'm ever going to do this, if I'm ever going to run in your ways, you must enlarge my heart.